Today I was attracted by a piece of Taiwanese news. In the video, Taiwanese commentators were madly mocking the robot dogs in the Indian military parade. They said that the soldiers held the remote control and operated the robot dogs closely because the signal transmission distance was short. Moreover, these robot dogs were walking on flat ground, and their steps were unstable. They were too different from the robot dogs of the Chinese army. It was a shame for India to use such toys in the military parade, and Indians were proud of it. In fact, the mainland Chinese internet is also discussing India's robot dogs. A netizen from Guangdong said that India's robot dogs were purchased from a toy factory in Guangdong because the Indians were severely suppressing the price and the profit margin was not large. Therefore, the factory used the worst toy remote control chip with a transmission distance of only 15 meters. Moreover, the manufacturer did not use lithium batteries, but used very cheap lead-acid batteries. These robot dogs could not work for a long time at all, and could only be used for entertainment. As for what the Indian military said, light weapons can be installed on them, netizens laughed even more wildly. If possible, why not install them during the military parade? In fact, you can search the military parade video released by the Indian government to see the robot dogs participating in the Indian military parade, and compare them with the products of China's Unitree, and you will know how big the difference between the two products is. The biggest shame of the Indian army is not buying Chinese products, but that they bought toys instead of practical robot dogs. Can you imagine that? If the buyers are corrupt, what about the receivers? The officers and soldiers of the Indian army received the toys and were told to participate in the military parade and take them to the battlefield in the future. Didn't they raise any objections? I have always been very curious that India uses motorcycles to carry many soldiers to perform acrobatics in the annual military parade. Don't they know that other countries in the world will laugh at India when they see this? This is a very embarrassing thing. Do the 1.4 billion Indians really not know the truth? I think of the fairy tale emperor's new clothes. The whole world knows that the emperor has no clothes, but no one points it out. Today's India is really so strange. Most of them know that they live in a bubble, but they are unwilling to burst the bubble and face reality. So when ISRO landed on the moon through animation and completed the space docking, they did not choose to question it, but chose to celebrate it. When the Indian general told them that one Rafale fighter could beat 5 J-20s, they did not question why the 4th-generation fighter could crush the 5th-generation stealth fighter, but chose to believe it and rank themselves third in the world's air force, after the United States and Russia. Well, we believe that the Indian military has applied Bharat Curry to the French Rafale, which has a super stealth effect, and one can beat 5 J-20s. But China has 300 J-20s and India has only 36 Rafales. How can it beat China? China's J-35 is in mass production. In the nearly future, not only China, but also Pakistan will be equipped with a large number of J-35s. What should India do at that time? China's 6th-generation fighter is undergoing intensive flight tests. If it is equipped with the army, what should India do? Is the production of Bharat Curry enough? Pilots will not have diarrhea if they eat too much, right? This is just right. It is a fecal attack on the Chinese army from the air. Bharat will win. An Indian netizen asked me, "Why do you always criticize India? Can't you talk about other countries?" I think I have answered this question. If there are 10 jokes in the world every day, 8 of them happen in India. How can I mock other countries when they don't have so many jokes? Do other countries brag about being a superpower? Are other countries as dirty as India? Do other countries brag about being a military power? Do other countries brag about being a member of the elite space club? Do people in other countries have so many vicious rape cases? Even goats and lizards can become victims. Is this something people in other countries can do? Yesterday I said in the video that the first thing Modi fans need to do is to repair their brains. If you lack common sense, you will make more and more jokes and be mocked by more and more countries. There is a huge gap between your perception of India and its real status in the world. When you criticize me for posting 2 videos every day, you have no idea that I use AI to help me with my work. Modi and you boast that India is becoming an AI power, but you have never used your brain to think when and how to become an AI power. Relying on fantasy? I have pointed out many times that China's AI industry can compete with the United States in software and has surpassed the United States in hardware. You can search for Unitree's robot dog and DJI's drone. It's understandable that you can't afford them, but you can always watch the video, right? If your military procurement personnel have watched Unitree's video, will they still be so stupid as to buy a toy robot dog? The robot dogs used by your Great Bharat Army are not as good as the robot dogs of Chinese mountain vendors, and you still show them on TV. What's wrong with your Bryans? India can't even produce qualified rifles, but it always wants to manufacture fighter jets, aircraft carriers, and nuclear submarines. As a result, all core components are imported, and a lot of jokes have been made. Now it boasts about developing a robot dog, but it turns out to be a toy, and a low-quality toy produced by a Chinese manufacturer. When the Indian military boasted about developing a robot dog, didn't anyone ask, how? Does India have its own power battery, or intelligent algorithms, precise control systems, or efficient and stable signal transmission systems? Nothing. Just open your mouth, like to brag, and then get slapped in the face and laughed at by the whole world. Just like that, you still don't know how to reflect and defend your own stupid behavior. Aren't you tired? I need to remind the fans of Bharat Empire that India has no core industry and is far from completing industrialization. The IT powerhouse that the Modi government boasts about, that is, software outsourcing, and the World Office, that is, call centers, are all likely to be replaced by AI. Generative AI in the United States has already replaced a large number of low-level programmers and customer service jobs, and China is also staging an AI revolution. Even a self-media worker like me has begun to regard AI as an important means to improve productivity. What industry will 1.4 billion Indians rely on to feed in the future? This is a very serious question. If you have the energy to brag about being a super military power, a space power, and criticize me for being the mouthpiece of the CCP, why can't you calm down and think about India's future? Is India's problem that it can't make a robot dog? India's biggest problem is that it is shrouded in a bubble of lies, but no one is willing to burst it. As a result, Modi and BJP's liars continue to fabricate non-existent achievements and steal power, and the price is paid by all Indians. This country is falling into the abyss. Don't dream of becoming a superpower. It has nothing to do with you. If you don't believe it, go to ISRO's Twitter account and ask them to release the videos of space docking and moon landing. Ask the Indian Ministry of Defense to release the video of the robot dog carrying weapons. The truth may be cruel, but it is the first step to success.